Hi everyone, I'm Leslie Gideon, and you're watching Sunflower Snap Gaming. We're going to be playing a bird story, which is a very short, more interactive story as opposed to a quote-unquote game. But if you happen to remember this from when it came out in 2014, which was 10, nearly 11 years ago now, you remember that it's a very short story that packed a really big punch. I highly recommend that you play it for yourself first. But I think I've hyped it up enough, so all that being said, let's get started. What's so stunning about this game is there's no dialogue, no words, but you can feel that sense of melancholy, that sense of quiet, 3 a.m., night morning calm that is both beautiful and a little sad and a little lonely. Shadow follow, shadow follow. The paper airplane takes me from memory to memory. Okay, this is definitely a flashback because we're at school. Oh, this poor kid's getting bullied. Also, the square root of 1,764 is not a cat. I'm no mathematician, but call it a hunch. Oh, she mad. Wait, so she kicked him out of the classroom, but he's also not allowed to go anywhere? Times were different back in the day, I guess. Anything to the left? No. Can I interact with the lockers? I don't think so. Oh. I wonder if this is more of a dream sequence than a flashback. We see him sleeping, so I'm guessing he's sleeping. Astute observation. We saw him sleeping, therefore he must be sleeping. Right, everyone else is playing together in the jungle gyms, on the slide. And this kid is very much othered and alone. So we're heading home after a day of being bullied and ostracized. Clearly we don't live in the best home because there's rats around. I'm guessing our apartment is the one that's rendered. Oh, he might be a latchkey kid. Do people still say a latchkey kid? Essentially, kids come home to an empty home while their parents are working or otherwise out and unable to pick them up. Okay, so the parents left a note. We can't read exactly what it says. There are definitely some benefits to being a latchkey kid, which is that you get time to yourself. Reading about soup, as one does. Kid, you and me are the same. Muffin. Muffin stats increased. Oh. This is a very good way to represent that dreamlike state of shifting from place to place. Oh, I just know this teacher's gonna be mean about him falling asleep. Well, that was unnecessary. I don't think she actually yeeted this child. I think that was just a representation of her going at him for falling asleep and having no patience for this child, who seems like he's going through a lot. His home life doesn't seem bad, but he's a latchkey kid. He spends a lot of time by himself while his parents are, I assume, working. And it looks like in general, he's just not sad or even necessarily neglected. We see the notes and the food they leave for him, but he's definitely lonely and definitely has a yearning for something more. We see in the paper airplane motif, we see in his drawing, he wants, if not to literally fly away, at the very least to experience something higher than himself. Whether that be literal or metaphorical is up to you, but he very much just strikes me as a kid who is sad and lonely. Badgers? Badger. Oh, he's trying to save the little bird. Yeah, this poor kid really gives me the sense of he's feeling trapped in his life. It's not necessarily a bad life, but at the moment it's not the best life either. And it seems like he's starting to learn that he can yearn for more things. Obviously, flight is a very common metaphor for freedom. And I think that's what he's searching for, even if he might be a little too young to have those exact words. I think he's starting to realize that he wants more. He just doesn't know what that more could be yet. Little bird stowaway. That's so cute. I don't think we're going back to school. I think we're going wherever the trees are telling us to go. Which is... vet. Oh, he's taking the little guy to the vet. Oh, the vet... Is the vet not open? Looks like the animal hospital isn't open. Oh, are we taking the little guy home? Oh, this is childhood innocence at its purest form. Oh, little stealth game. Gotta go stealth. Don't snitch. Elevator compatriot, do not snitch. You know what we do to snitches. That's right. Tweet, tweet. A stack of notes from the parents. He's been a latchkey kid for a while. Alright, let's see what this poor little birdie does. He looks like he's okay. Oh, we want to get him some water. Is there no sink in this kitchen? Oh, we're getting it from the bathroom. Yeah, there is no sink in the kitchen, I guess. Bread. Oh, the bird left. Except he didn't. He was just in the bushes. Or bush. I heard that. Now they're playing peekaboo with each other. This is very cute. Well, let's try the animal hospital again. I know this is a dream state, so he's probably remembering himself being a little bit more participatory in this. But yeah, I don't think most vets would let a child just pick up medical supplies. Oh, the bird is staying here. Bye, friend. The bird is not staying here. Oh. She wanted to put him in a cage. Which, again, medically, I assume would be for the bird's own good, so he doesn't try to fly on an injured wing. But he just wants freedom, and he sees this little bird as his, if not ticket to freedom, at least a vicarious expression of it. Oh, he wants to teach the bird to play fetch. Don't think birds understand the concept of fetch. Huh. Home. This poor kid has been so lonely. And as much as the bird represents freedom, the bird is also a friend. They're splashing in puddles together. Oh, the poor kid got sick from splashing in puddles. The bird does not understand fetch. It seems he understands play at least. Who brought him in for show and tell? Ice cream! This is such a beautiful way to slide through different types of memories and stories, too. This game is nearly 11 years old and it's still so gorgeously designed and has such fun transitions and is so cinematic. Oh, honey, no, you're not a duck. Don't you beep at me, car. You wait your goddamn turn. Oh, and the bird is making us friends. Oh, the bird is how we open up. Whee! I think that's also meant to be a little callback to the developer's other game, To the Moon, which is a much bigger tearjerker, whereas this just seems very cute and wholesome. Just a boy and his bird. We finally taught him how to play fetch. Oh. New location. Bread. Where are we heading to, I wonder? The memory of where we first met. Aww. Another bird. Could this be Mama Bird? Oh. Of course, now, I think, the boy has to reckon with the fact that this bird is not meant to be a pet bird. We found him in the wild, and the wild is his home. Is he reading to the bird? No, that's his sketchbook, I remember. He's trying to make a paper airplane. The bird is stopping him. I think he's trying to explain to the bird that it's time to leave. Now he's going back and forth, making perhaps a big sheet of paper? Oh. a sketchbook. He doesn't need the escapism anymore. He's found joy. He's found a sense of freedom and happiness. And the bird helped him make friends at school. And they're building one last paper airplane together. Ah, this is so cute. This is so sweet. Oh, now we get a sprint button. Now that we have a sprint button, I don't want to use it. I want to enjoy this. The mountains, the trees are covered in snow. The bird doesn't just want to go out into the wilderness, I don't think. I think they have a very sweet bond, but again, I think the boy realizes the bird is a wild animal and deserves to be in the wild. And I think the fact that we're counting down different locales, the bird doesn't want any wild or crazy or far off adventures. He just wants to be home. Oh, this is gorgeous. This landscaping detail in this final stretch of the game is beautiful. All of these locations, the mountains, the tropics, the desert oasis, they're all stunning. And I think this painting against the pixelated backdrop is such a wonderful juxtaposition of the two art styles that I think complement each other very well. But I do also think that it really hammers the point home that this bird doesn't want wild, far-off adventures. He just wants to go home. And I think that does parallel the boy in a certain way, where he was lonely, he was sad, he was ostracized. His life wasn't horrible, but he wanted more. And as he formed this bond with this bird, he realized more was not flying away. More is not a wild and exciting life. More is a home with people, or in this case, creatures that you love and seem to love you in return. And I got so distracted by my internal monologue making that external that I completely skipped past this area's little island over this, again, beautiful mountaintop city, town situation. But I think now we're in endgame. After all these fun and wild adventures, it's time to go home. Oh, this is the first time we've seen either of the parents. Huh. Hey, friend. I think we're catching up with our shadow selves again. parent-teacher conference time. Oh, I think it's that the parents didn't know about the bird. This off-brand Benny Hill music caught me by surprise, but this is very cute. Is he pretending to be a duck? Oh, that's so cute. Little now Mario situation. Did he just run into himself? Oh. It's time to let the bird go. Oh, I know, little guy. It's time for one last trip. I think I know what this trip is. No jumping through puddles today. Oh, all the memories coming back. Playing fetch. Making new friends. Just having a little buddy to say hello to. This is so dreamlike. I'm not sure what potentially would have happened in real life, in the real life metaphor of this. Oh, I know, poor kid. This is his friend. He doesn't want him in a cage or trapped anywhere that he doesn't want to be, because he knows that feeling. Yeah, I think there's no way to dodge the lightning bolts. I think it's just inevitable. The paper airplane hopes and dreams falling down after him. Such a gorgeous shot and such beautiful imagery. If I had a nickel for every time I said gorgeous or beautiful, I'd have so many nickels, but that's how I feel looking at this game. It's just stunning. His friend is gone, and he's self-isolating. You have friends who care about you now. But it's hard when you lose someone, even if it is a pet, and that feeling of grief and depression, especially at a young age like this. I don't blame him for that urge to self-isolate. one of our pieces of paper. And this is where it all began. Even having no strong memory of this game, having played it years back at this point, I can feel where it's going, and I feel so bad for this little kid, but I also know he's grown so much just for having essentially a pet in his life, even if it's not a pet, and it was a creature that he had to let go. Also, good on this elevator guy for never snitching. At the risk of getting a little too metaphysical with everything, because this is meant to be a dreamlike state, it does in a way reflect that feeling of almost numbness when you lose something. That feeling of losing a pet, a loved one, especially at such a young age. It can be so hard to grasp. It can feel saddening and isolating and alone. And he's still a latchkey kid. He's still coming home to an empty apartment, notes from his parents. They at least seem to not be too mad about him keeping a wild animal at home. I think they were genuinely just more concerned. Because again, it's a wild animal in the house. But to him, that was his friend. There he is, waiting outside, day after day. It looks like he's also gathering all the papers that he can from his old sketchbook. Just wants any reminder that he can have that his friend might come back. It's our bird friend. He's back. And Mama Bird. He can fly again. Time to take the last bandage off. It's time for our bird friend to finally go home. With one last little game of fetch. Even if he does have to go home now. No, the little goodbye hug. As I was saying, even if bird friend does have to go home now, the bond that they had for this brief moment in time is going to be in both of their hearts for the rest of their lives, I hope. I'm getting emotional. This is very, very sweet. And with that, I'm thinking a lot of things right now. As I said, this game is over 10 years old at this point, and I think it's beautiful and a wonderful, open-ended story. Again, it's more of an experience than a game, but I think it tells what it's trying to tell very beautifully, very wonderfully, I definitely think if you come into this, you might take away different things than I do, because it is so open-ended, because there's no dialogue. It's very easy to come in with your own ideas of what this story could mean, and I definitely think it's open to interpretation to a certain point. For example, I'm calling this Mama Bird and Her Baby, but it could very easily be a couple. And the fact that it's in so many languages is great too. But yeah, it's great to see them get to go home after such a beautiful moment in time for both of them. And now that we're back at the boy, he still has the paper airplane, and there's definitely that sense of melancholy there. But I think it's a little lighter now. You get to see the bird go home with his friend, whether that be mother, partner, family. I think there's still sadness. I think there's still melancholy there, but oh wow, we get this brief glimpse of him growing up. Oh! Freebird Games. Okay, so that perhaps is a sequel. And because this game came out 11 years ago, I definitely want to look into this. I definitely want to play more games from this developer. Again, To the Moon was super, super big back in the day. And I think this team, these developers, are very good at telling very simple, elegant stories very, very well. So if there is a sequel and we do get to see the little boy grow up, I very much want to do that. But for now, thank you so, so much for watching and for coming along on this journey with me. Again, I didn't show every single piece of the game, so even if you enjoyed this playthrough, I definitely recommend giving this game a look for yourself. It's available on Steam. You can easily get through it in an hour, hour and a half tops. It's such a beautiful story. I think it's incredibly worth it to experience it by yourself. But with all of that being said and all of that being experienced, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me and watching this. Truly thank you. And bye.